person who struggles what it is to be a full human being. I can tell you in Ohio we don't have labor history like this. We have it, but it's hidden, and people don't have those stories. They don't use music, they don't use stories to carry the values of working people, and it makes our movement weaker than it is in Illinois. These stories are important. So many of you know that 125 years ago, Lucy and Albert Parsons and their 2 children led a march of 60,000 people down Michigan Avenue for the 8-hour day, and a few days later, we're speaking at a rally against police brutality because the police were brutal. And a bomb was thrown, and the police attacked the workers. 8 policemen were killed, and in their divine misunderstanding of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, the state decided 8 workers have to die. And so they executed Albert Parsons. This is the story of that. And I want to point out, at the end, you'll hear one of Bill Edelman's favorite stories. He used to introduce it by saying, "It's probably apocryphal." But nobody knows what apocryphal means anyway. So we'll take it as true. Lucy was, by the mid-30s, Lucy was blind, but still one of the best speakers in Chicago. And the city council was so frightened of her, they said, "Lucy Parsons cannot speak on the streets of Chicago." So in the late 30s, Lucy was asked to speak to a gathering of CIO workers, and she couldn't speak on the streets of Chicago. So they thought, what can we do? Well, it's our spirit to always figure out what we can do. So they put her on a boat in the middle of the Chicago River with workers on either side. And Lucy got to speak, so you'll hear that story in here. For those of you who don't know, Captain Bonfield and Captain Shack were the police. Judge Gary was the judge in charge of the frame-up. Here we go. Have you seen her? Lucy Parsons, down on State Street again. Have you heard the speech that she's making when she's shaking up the world for every woman, child, and man? Can you believe her? Lucy Parsons, she must be 80 if she's a day. And did you say that she was bound to be thinking of her Albert and that life of liberty? God, she's always asking, why can't we be moving everything in our way? Do you remember Lucy Parsons, Thanksgiving 1884, marching hungry women and children down the streets of the rich? She was pounding on their doors, and 2 years later, on the 1st of May, oh, we were 60,000 strong, down Chicago city streets with the Parsons in the lead. We said 8 hours for work and 8 for rest and 8 for what we will. 8 hours for work and 8 for rest and 8 for what we will. And we'll be moving everything in our way. They shot those strikers down at McCormick. How many, I don't know. 'Cause the wounded are afraid to report it. They're afraid to find the Red Squad knocking on their doors. So in their front rooms, they lay bleeding. To cry out, they won't dare. Then Engel called a meeting just to raise our voice in anger out at Haymarket Square. But they called Bonfield, Shack, and Gary when there's killing to be done, and their unholy marriage of the gavel and the gun. Hey, they're open for business, and there's business to be done with their special brand of justice, the gavel and the gun. In the square we spoke in anger, but we did not speak in blood. But the blood that flowed from workers came to make a mighty flood. Hey, we raised our cry for justice, and the people started home. But the cops, they plotted murder with a rifle, rope, and bomb. Albert Parsons lay in prison. Oh, but they knew he did no wrong. Ah, but Pullman had sworn to get him. Now they've got him, and he told them he would not go along. Well, they built that Statue of Liberty. Oh, that statue lies. Albert wrote a note to Lucy. This is what he said the night before he died. He said, freedom is a promise I won't be there to keep, but you're a woman of the people, and you'll be waking up their world when they're walking in their sleep. So every year they try to stop her, and every year she speaks again. Now they've banned her from the city streets and from shaking up the world for every woman, child, and man. You can't find her down on State Street, up on Michigan, or out on Grand. Hey, but what's that on a boat down the river come afloat, with one arm raised up high and that darkness in her eye? Miss Lucy speaks once more to her people on the shore, and she's moving everything in her way. And did you say that she was bound to be thinking of her Albert and that life of liberty? God, she's always asking, why can't we? Moving everything in our way. And you could say that we are bound to be thinking of the Parsons and that life of liberty. And God will keep asking, why can't we be moving everything? This is your part. Moving everything in our way. Sing with me. We got a lot to move. Moving everything. Wisconsin. Moving everything. Ohio. Moving everything in our way. Moving everything. Got to move everything. We'll be moving everything in our way. Gotta sing louder because I'm gonna stop. Moving everything. Yes. Moving everything. Louder. Moving everything in our way. Better. Let's go. Moving everything. Got a lot to move. Moving everything. We'll be moving everything in our way. Thank you.